Debate.
So I knew last week I was preaching today. I knew. I don't have a hard time planning a lesson. I can talk anytime, any topic, a long time. I preach every day at home with my roommates. So, but some reason this week, topic and not going smooth. Another topic. Feel like it's smooth. It's Friday night. I have Friday night CWF, Friday night family gathering, Saturday night CWF, Saturday all day shopping. When am I going to plan? But you know how sometimes in your mind, you know, sometimes my sermon was the same. For some reason, I don't know, but I really believe that today the Holy Spirit wants to talk to us. I believe that everybody who's here today is here for a reason. I believe that the Holy Spirit has something that He wants to teach us and wants to say to us today. Because I couldn't use my words to plan a lesson. I'm a little bit nervous, because I know it's a little bit blunt. But it'll be good for me too. How many here love Jesus? I'm going to ask you again. How many here love Jesus? Okay? I'm going to ask you one more time. How many here love Jesus? Okay. And you remember, you raised 3 times. You remember, I'm going to show you some verses. You see if the verses matches your life. We're living in a time where, you know the story of the 10 virgins? They go to sleep. They wake up, the groom's coming, they wake up, they're ready. They go to get oil. They go in. They don't go in. Okay. They're Christians. Okay, that's us. Which are you? If I said, I found out, I prayed last night, I found out 12:01, Jesus is coming. That's 18 minutes. 18 minutes, Jesus is coming. Jesus will come 18 minutes. I found out. I find out. Are you ready? Has your example been enough to show your family, your friends? I looked at my life. I can say for myself that if Jesus came right now, I have no unforgiveness, problem, conflict, lazy. I need improvement, yes. But every day, I work on my life, every day, to improve. I succeed? No. But today, I do better than yesterday. So today I want to talk about many of us who, Christians over 5 years, right? Been Christians over 5 years? Who's under 5 years? So we should be mature, right? Do you agree? We love Jesus? So we should be mature? Means good attitude. We can, my attitude, okay. I know of situations here. I'm not going to Calvary Temple. Why? Insult me. Amateur?
No.
Then why? You're willing to go to hell because a person insulted me? Think twice. Who are you hurting? You're hurting yourself. I know there's a few people who won't go to Calvary Temple. Why? No pastor. Christian over 5 years don't come to church for the preaching only. You come here to help, to minister to each other, to bless each other. Grow up. It's time to grow up. Our souls are getting damaged. Our souls are hurting. We're hurting people. We're not showing people Jesus. People in the world are dying in their sin, going to hell. We can help. Stop living with unforgiveness. Stop living with conflict. Stop living with me. Stop. Stop going home and I should read. What did God do in the Old Testament when the Israelites served idols? I tell you, it's equal to an idol. And then why? I'm not blessed. Why? Kyle, do you want to take over?
Yeah.
Why? I ask you, why? God's fault. No.
It's our fault. God's promise. If we seek Him, we will find Him. That's God's promise. We just have to obey it, and He will bless. It's a promise. We request it. A promise we seek in our lives. And then all these things in your life get taken care of. They'll be added. That's the promise. But we have to act first. Can we be mature? Do you know how? Yes. How can we be mature? You see people who are Christians 20, 30 years and they're still on milk. They're still suckling the thumb. Come on. What do you think the deaf community is going to come to us if they don't see us showing something different in our lives? The Bible says, I love Jesus. I love Jesus. Okay. What does this verse mean? Maybe I'll just ask. What does this verse mean? Anybody who wants to volunteer and answer? Anybody can explain what this verse says. Mike, what does this verse say? You come up here. What would you say this means? What's your perspective about this verse? It says, all of my life, heart, soul, everything that's inside of me and my mind, this combination working together, raised up to God, so that nothing else comes first. Everything is put first to God. What's an example of that? Like showing love, there's a Christian, Christ, to follow his character, to show love and cherishing others and respect. These characteristic attributes, I think. Meaning, putting God first, that's the emphasis. I'm sorry, I don't know if I'm going too deeper than that. All of our heart, mind, strength, all say the same. These verses, there's a couple different verses that talk about the same thing. Seeking with all your heart. If you seek the King first, all these things, seek the kingdom first, all these things will be happen to us. God is hunger. He has a hunger for us to seek Him. No, but we have hunger for seeking wealth, for seeking things. It's okay to save up some money for a house. But if you say, oh, my work, you know, and you tend to, the focus becomes the work because of the money so that you can save for the house. When you buy that house, will you gain happiness? No. What you say, well, what's next? Okay, well, got the house, and now I need a car. So you start working and saving for the car. You say, all right, now I have the house, now I have the car. And yet, happiness doesn't flow from that. We need to grow up. We need to, I like us to, if we just were to examine our hearts, say, what's in your life? Nobody's perfect. We're all not perfect. But if you were to take a look at yourself, big or small, say, this is a place for healing. You say, I would understand if you don't want to come here and bare your whole soul before everybody. You say, oh, that would be embarrassing. Oh, that's my problem. I can work that out with God. But you could ask somebody to pray for you. You could come to the church and say, I need prayer. We need to be there for each other. There's power when we pray in our lives for each other. If we were to seek or search our hearts, say, what areas do you say, okay, I know if there's a problem, I have a problem against somebody, I can't have a proper relationship with God. The bitterness that I have against a person, that bitterness will come out in my relationship with God, to resentment. You say, oh, I'm so bothered, and so I can't have that kind of relationship with God until you push all this stuff aside and say, Christ is my focus. Jesus said, anyone who loves me will obey my teaching. Then Father. So if I obey, if I love, and then Christ will abide in me, and I'll have peace, and there'll still be problems, but still, apart from that, I'll have joy, I'll have peace. I'll have all these wonderful things in my life. If we don't obey, then that's on hold. Anyone who does not love me will not obey the teaching. Do you forgive? Do you love? These are acts of obedience. Do you share? I talked with my mom and my dad too. We're talking about people who need to be bold in sharing about God. Sometimes they're fearful. We need to have boldness to speak out. When you were born and you had your son surgery, were you bold to share? My wife, asked me about.
Yeah, did you have a hard time sharing with your friends at work that
No.
your wife had a baby? I mean, was it hard? You needed courage?
No, I was sharing with anybody.
Why?
It's exciting.
It's exciting. When you get a new job.
You get a new job. You share with people, say, hey, I got a new job, I'm so excited. I told my mom, to be honest, we don't share. It's not because we're fearful. You know why? We don't share because we don't really fully believe it. If we really believed, we would have excitement. It would be the same as if you just had a newborn child. Say you try some food, you try a sample of food, and you say, oh, this is delicious. And then, or you see a movie, you share your response. You say, oh, I liked it, or you talk about it. It's the same as the Bible. If we really believe that Jesus came for us, if we believe that Jesus died for us, then we have no problem sharing. It's because inside we have this deep excitement. If we have a problem with sharing, if we have reservations, can ask God and say, help me to, it's like my son always says, I believe in God. Doesn't matter, good or bad. And I say, okay, that's good. Keep going. Speak it out. Speak it out. Say, I believe. I believe. Emphasize that. Doesn't matter how you feel inside. Make it an affirmation of your belief. Remember this promise. If we seek Him, we'll find. You say, well, we seek, we can't find. It won't. It's a promise. It doesn't happen that way. It might take a month or two. You will find. Courage. Take a look at our hearts and you say, where is your relationship with God at? Is it mature? Is it not mature? Are you easily offended when people give you perspective, feedback? I love straight talking when people straight talk to me because it gives me a chance to change. Why do we feel guilty? The goal should be closeness to Christ. See, I want Christ to be proud of me. I want God to be proud of me. I'm here on earth for a purpose, for Him. And yeah, I'm here to work. I'm here to get a job and get a car. I have to do it. How else am I going to pay the bills? That attitude, if you just say, okay, yeah, there are these responsibilities, but let's put those aside. And say that, oh, I'm going to fellowship. That's awesome. Talking with a roommate, sharing, being involved in the body of Christ. These are exciting things. When you truly love Christ, when you truly love Jesus, what comes out of us when we speak? Is it just talking about our work, or is it sharing about God? You say, oh, you can change. Start talking about hockey and then talk about a blessing because of hockey. You'll find a way to fit God. Encourage you. As Calvary Temple, we have an awesome church. We have no pastor, but we're still doing awesome. Look at you, strong and faithful, coming here, Sundays, working together. Many people with leaders don't even see what we've seen in this church. God is blessing this church. That doesn't mean we need to sit back. We say, okay, there's skills to be developed. Let's look inside. Let's be like, let's take that battleground. Let's send the enemy running. We're going to minister to Canada. We don't need to stay in our corner. Who will reach out to those people? The hearing, they have their ministries. They have the people that they're focusing on. We're deaf. We need to meet the needs of those deaf. Who's going to volunteer to meet them, to teach them in a Bible study? Who has the responsibility to pray and go with them? Say, I'm a Christian. Who's a Christian? Who loves Jesus? Who loves Jesus? Who is willing to go pray with somebody in a hospital? Well, my time, I'm busy. I got work and I got these commitments. There's events coming up. And then, of course, sometimes I'm tired, so I just can't really go. That's showing Christ second. I'm tired, says Christ. Can you wait a second? I need a moment. My suggestion is we have. Who can be a leader? Sure, who can? You say, well, wait. Tell me. It's an excuse. Who can lead? It's 12. Say if the whole world shook to the ground and Jesus walked into this room right now, what would you say? And Jesus said, Ken, what have you done for me? I'm sorry, I don't mean to pick on you. I just, as an example. Say, Jim, when Jesus came, showed up, would you be satisfied with your involvement in your role at work? How would you feel if Jesus came? You know, the Bible tells us it's a promise. Jesus is coming back. When we look inside, and you say, Jesus, give me a hunger for you. I've become lost. I've grown bored with church and reading the Word, and I feel so lousy as a Christian. I feel cold. Ask Jesus. Cry out with desire. He's so thirsty. He doesn't want us to block Satan. When we're blocked from Jesus, Satan wins. You know, my dog. My dog is so cute, the pug. But Satan can use even a dog. You know how? When they jump up, you're supposed to be reading the Bible, you want to focus in and concentrate. When I'm doing nothing, the dog is doing nothing. As soon as I open up the Bible, there he is, there she is, wanting to jump up, get my attention. I have to take her to another room, close the door. We have to learn to control ourselves. You watch a Christian program on TV, the preaching's good. There's the dog, all over your lap, getting your attention. As soon as you put the Bible down or you stop watching that program, that's it. He knows our weaknesses. He wants to destroy us. He wants to destroy our families. He wants to destroy your health, your finances. He wants to destroy you 24/7. Satan follows us like a lion seeking to destroy us. If we're strong, if we're in the Word, we read, we have a relationship with God, we work it out, pray to God and surrender. Say, God, help me, help me. We don't have to be theoretically sound and intellectuals. Just say, please, God, help me. Put a fire in me. I read the Bible and it's not coming alive for me. Help me. Discipline. Get on your knees and pray. Go into a quiet room, whatever it is, and do it. You sit in a quiet place and you wait. You say, God, 10 minutes. And you say 10 minutes, but it seems kind of dull. Nothing's going on, but you do it because it's a promise. Don't follow it to expectation. I say, God, 10 minutes that, I'm gonna break out in tears and all these wonderful things will happen. Not always. Often you sit, you're quiet. Okay. Thank you, God, for this and that. Okay. Okay, you know what? No, my mind's trailing off. I'm going to focus here. Okay, continue to focus. And the time comes and goes, and nothing happens. That's fine. But when you do it again and again in faithfulness, somehow, when you're seeking God, you say, I'm feeling not worthy, or I don't know how, or you hit a stumbling block, a roadblock, and that discipline, you say, doesn't matter how I feel, I'm putting this aside, I'm sitting at your throne right now, and I'm your child, and I'm waiting for you. You sit as an act of faithfulness. Is actually sitting as a step, because you wait. noticed that although these incredible, miraculous things aren't happening, still all the while, things are getting better in my life. Problems are going away, or reducing, struggles are getting less. I'm not doing anything about those specific things. All I'm doing is devoting 10 minutes to God to sit quiet every day, to force myself in discipline. It's a promise.
Amen.
I've seen many things, evidences in my life. The struggles, 2 years I struggled and struggled. It was an awful thing. My attitude at work, it was awful. I was a complainer. And I'd get out of work and then I'd spout off about my boss at work. And I'd go home and I'd say, oh, I'm sorry, God, my sin. I'm sorry, why am I doing this? And then I'd pray and I'd pray. Time would go by, and then I'd maybe hold off for a few minutes, and then I'd break into complaining and negativity. I was stuck in a trap, and I couldn't get out of it. I say, I want to change, I'm a lousy Christian, what's wrong with me? I'm trying, I'm praying, it's not working. And then, I spent time with God 6 weeks during the summer. Reading the Bible. Did I have a feeling that God was present? I knew in my mind I knew that God was present, but did I feel it? No. But I kept going. All of a sudden my attitude started to change, started to improve. All this negative complaining started to go away. I had struggled for all this time in the emotion, in the struggle. The altar is a challenge. We ask God, oh, I want to feel close to you. You say, ask God, how can I serve others? What are those things that are blocking? Well, I'm not interested in reading the Bible. I go to church, but it's partly because I feel like I have to. It's a Christian discipline, or a Christian duty. I say, please renew my heart. Don't let Satan win. In Revelation, God says, I prefer those who are hot and on fire, or those who are cold, who have gone into a life of sin. If you're in the middle, trying to play both sides, I'll spit you out. Heaven doesn't stand for that. Spit out, it's like throwing it in the garbage. It's the concept. So we have to make a decision. Do we want to be hot, or do we want to be cold? Jesus is coming back very soon. Jesus is coming soon. We need to live our lives every day as if Jesus was coming within 5 minutes. Keeping busy. Encourage you as you look at yourselves, not looking at others, but as you look into yourselves, you and I your heart and say, change my life. I don't want to change somebody else's life. They say, oh, it's too bad that so-and-so wasn't here to hear this message today. No. How does this message apply to your life? Say, I know I have a problem. God, I know. I want you to forgive me. 5 says you can't do anything without God. You can't even forgive. We can't overcome. We can't defeat sin without God. So now is our time to say, please help. If you feel that you you aren't comfortable with sharing with each other, that's fine, but please come in and